For today's headlines, killer cops charged. Pemberton gets absolute pardon. UHC deserves support despite PhilHealth mess. Bayanihan 2 rolls after Rody fine-tuning. Palace tells MTRCB goes low on Netflix. How Maureen Larrazabal fights COVID-19. Unstoppable Olympics. ITCZ affecting the country. Good morning, I am Sandy Logos and you're watching Tribune News on Q. Today is Tuesday, September 8th, and now the news. The Philippine National Police filed administrative and criminal charges against 9 of its members who figured in the killing of 4 soldiers in Holosulu in June. Newly installed PNP Chief Police General Camilo Cascolan also said the administrative complaints have been filed against the 3 superiors of the 9 policemen for gross neglect of duty. The 9 policemen involved in the shooting incident are under the restrictive custody of the PNP in Camp Crame. Cascolan said summons were served against the cops last week. The policemen were identified as Senior Master Sergeant Abdelzimar Pajiri, Master Sergeant Hani Badiri, Staff Sergeants Iskandar Susulan and Eskinar Sapal, Corporal Sulke Andaki and Patrolman Mo Nur Pasani from the Holo Municipal Police Station, and Staff Sergeant Almudsin Harajuni and Patrolman Alcajal Mandangan and Rajiv Putalan from the Drug Enforcement Unit of the Solo Police. The top 3 provincial police officials, namely Sulu Police Chief Police Lieutenant Corporal Michael Bawayan, Holo Police Chief Major Walter Anayo, and Sulu Provincial Drug Enforcement Unit Chief Captain Ariel Corsino. The 4 Army Intel operatives, Major Marvin Indamog, Captain Erwin Managelod, Sergeant Jaime Velasco, and Corporal Abdal Asula, were said to be in pursuit of reported terrorist bombers in the area when they were accosted, chased, and then gunned down by police officers from the Holo Municipal Station, an incident the PNP initially tagged as a misencounter. In other news, President Rodrigo Duterte has granted an absolute pardon to United States Marine Lance Corporal Joseph Scott Pemberton, who was convicted for the killing of Filipino transgender Jennifer Laude in 2014. Foreign Affairs Secretary Teodoro Locsin Jr. made the announcement in a Twitter post yesterday, which drew the condemnation of human rights groups. In a public address yesterday night, Duterte said he would clear the way for the early release of Pemberton, since it was not the latter's fault that the government failed to compute his Good Conduct Time Allowance or GCTA, the sentence reduction given to prisoners who behaved while in detention. The militant group Bagong Alyansang Makabayan questioned the grant of absolute pardon, calling it a betrayal of national interest and a great injustice for the Laude family. The grant of absolute pardon came after the Olongapo City Regional Trial Court Branch 74 ordered Pemberton's release on the grounds of his good conduct. Pemberton was sentenced to 10-year imprisonment for killing Laude, who was found inside the bathroom of Zelzone Hotel in Olongapo, with her body wrapped in a bedsheet and her head slumped in a toilet bowl. Pemberton was in the country at the time to participate in the Philippines-US military exercises. The soldier was detained at a restricted facility in the military headquarters in Camp Aguinaldo. Meantime, corruption issues haunting the Philippine Health Insurance Corporation or PhilHealth should not hinder Congress support to the 2021 budget for the Universal Healthcare Law. This was stressed by Senator Panfilo Lacson as he battled for continuous funding for the implementation of the National Health Insurance Program. In the Executive Department's 2021 National Budget Proposal, the Department of Education will get the biggest chunk with a total allocation of 754.4 billion pesos. This is followed by the Department of Public Works and Highways with a proposed budget of 667.3 billion pesos. Departments of the Interior and Local Government, 246.1 billion pesos, National Defense with 209.1 billion pesos, Health with 203.1 billion pesos, Social Welfare and Development with 171.2 billion pesos, Transportation with 143.6 billion pesos, Agriculture with 66.4 billion pesos, the Judiciary with 43.5 billion pesos, and the Department of Labor and Employment with 27.5 billion pesos. Tribune News until we be back after these reminders.
Ang Philippine Offshore Gaming Operators o POGO ay isang legitimate business entity na nagbibigay serbisyo sa offshore gaming para lamang sa mga manlalarong nasa abroad sa pamamagitan ng internet. Ang mga serbisyong handog nito ay katulad ng casino games at sports betting na pwedeng laruin kahit wala sa casino. Sa Pilipinas, walang POGO operators. Tanging POGO service providers lamang dahil nagaganap ang mga laro sa labas ng bansa.
Bilang bagong mag-asawa, sabay kaming natututo sa buhay.
Sabay rin namin inaaral ng mga bayarin sa bahay.
Kahit kami, nagtaka sa biglang laki ng electricity bill namin. Huwag pong mangambang maputulan. Sinisigurado ng Meralco na walang disconnection hanggang September.
Estimated bills lang ang natanggap natin ng March, April at para sa ilan, May. Dahil sa lockdown, isang tabi to para hindi na maguluhan.
Ang May o June ay actual meter reading na. Kung May nagka-actual reading, ibabawas dito ang huling reading bago mag-ECQ. Yan lang po ang ating babayaran hanggang 3 buwang konsumo.
Kung estimated reading sa May at June nagka-actual reading, ibabawas din dito ang huling reading bago mag-ECQ. Yan lang po ang ating babayaran. Hanggang 4 na buwang konsumo, walang labis. Tandaan, kung ano lang na konsumo,
yun lang ang babayaran.
ako po si Mateo G.
At ako naman po si Sarah G.
G?
G!
President Rodrigo Duterte would likely approve the proposed 165 billion pesos Bayanihan to Recover as One Act in 2 weeks, De Malacanang said on Monday. In a televised briefing, presidential spokesperson Harry Roque expressed confidence that the bill, which seeks to provide COVID-19 relief packages, would be signed within the first 2 weeks of September. The spokesman explained that consultations with government agencies are delaying the signing of the measure, which is expected to benefit badly hit sectors such as micro, small, and medium-scale enterprises, transport, tourism, and agriculture. Albay Representative Adsel Lagman has previously criticized the president for dragging his heels on the enactment of the measure that was ratified by the Congress last month, saying it delays financial assistance to struggling businesses. The bill seeks to allocate 50 billion pesos to government financial institutions to provide soft loans to businesses and 4 billion pesos for the tourism industry. Like the Bayanihan to Heal as One Act, the bill also provides 5,000 pesos to 8,000 pesos cash assistance to affected low-income households in areas under granular lockdown and to households with recently returned overseas Filipino workers. The Congress also allotted 13.5 billion pesos for health-related responses, including the payment of 10,000 pesos special risk allowance to both public and private medical frontliners, 3 billion pesos for the procurement of face masks and face shields and personal equipment, and 4.5 billion pesos for the construction of temporary medical isolation and quarantine facilities. The palace on Monday urged the Movie and Television Review and Classification Board or MTRCB to reconsider its plan to regulate shows on video streaming platforms like Netflix after the proposal drew flack from the public and some lawmakers. Earlier, the MTRCB called on lawmakers to craft a law allowing the agency to regulate streaming service platforms to ensure it is age-appropriate and contains no prohibited material. Cayetano thumbed down the call, which he called a ridiculous idea, saying the MTRCB's plan might affect the approval of its proposed budget for 2021. Speaking at the launch of the congressional hearings for the proposed 4.506 trillion 2021 national budget, Cayetano said there are more issues the MTRCB can prioritize than tinker with the content of Netflix and other digital streaming platform providers. Arenas, for her part, said that MTRCB has recently finalized a draft guideline meant to ensure that all video platforms operating in the country are complying with Filipino contemporary values. The MTRCB, created under Presidential Decree 1986 by former dictator Ferdinand Marcos, is mandated to review all motion pictures shown in the Philippines based on contemporary Filipino values. Media experts, however, point out that the agency has no power to regulate internet content. In showbiz, while Michael V has recovered from COVID-19, another Pepito Manaloto cast member, Maureen Larrazabal, has caught the virus. On September 7, Maureen confirmed on the GMA7 morning show Unang Hirit that she contracted the virus and has been battling it for a month now. On the same day, she posted on her Instagram account a post-workout photo. In a story published on pep.ph, she said that a recent swab test revealed that she was positive for the virus, although she is asymptomatic. She added that she didn't know where or how she got the virus because she's always in the house. Her Instagram feed contains many workout videos, which she admitted is her way of fighting the virus. She has also posted inspirational messages. Maintaining a positive attitude is likewise what her co-star Michael V has been adopting. Michael V, who is also the creative director of Pepito Manaloto, said he has officially recovered from COVID-19 after first revealing on a YouTube vlog that he tested positive. Shirby News on You will be back after these reminders.
City, home to the country's first indoor shopping mall, the world's original Thrilla, and the first ever Bini Bini pageant. Now a place for your first win, your first catch, your first home, your first big break, your first date, and even your first love. Araneta City, the city of firsts.
In sports, Tokyo's postponed Olympics will go ahead next year regardless of the coronavirus pandemic. The International Olympic Committee Vice President John Coates told AFP, vowing that the Games will conquer COVID. The Olympics have never been cancelled outside the world wars, and Coates, speaking in a phone interview, was adamant that the Tokyo Games will start on their revised date. In a landmark decision, the 2020 Olympics were postponed because of the global march of the pandemic, and they are now set to open on July 23, 2021. But Japan's borders are still largely closed to foreign visitors, and a vaccine is months or even years away, feeding speculations about whether the Games are feasible at all. Japanese officials have made clear they would not delay them a second time beyond 2021. There are signs that public enthusiasm in Japan is waning after a recent poll found just 1 in 4 Japanese want them to go ahead next year, with most backing either another postponement or a cancellation. And an intertropical convergence zone or ITCZ will affect Mindanao and the Visayas, while localized thunderstorm will bring rains in other parts of the country today, according to Pag-asa. The ITCZ, or the meeting of winds from the northeast and southeast, will bring cloudy skies with scattered rain showers and thunderstorms in Mindanao and western Visayas. Metro Manila and the rest of the country will have partly cloudy to cloudy skies with isolated rain showers due to localized thunderstorms. Meanwhile, the heavy downpour in Metro Manila yesterday has caused floods that was due to localized thunderstorms, Pag-asa said. Winds and coastal water condition in Luzon and Visayas will be light to moderate and light in Mindanao. Maximum temperature today is 32.9 degrees Celsius at 1:50 p.m., while minimum temperature is 25.3 degrees Celsius at 5 p.m. And that wraps up the stories this morning. Catch the latest news on our website tribune.net.ph and follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Subscribe to our YouTube channel, Tribune Now. The Daily Tribune is one with the nation in facing the COVID-19 crisis, and in line with this, the Daily Tribune digital edition and press reader is now available for free online. You can also download the Daily Tribune app on Apple Store for iOS users and Google Play for Android users to get the latest and most comprehensive news online. Daily Tribune is also inviting everyone to join its community Viber Kachibu to get updates on the freshest and hottest news and entertainment stories of the day. Tercito emoticons are also available on our community Viber. Just click on the link in this video to join. And before we go, we would like to thank the SM Store for our wardrobe. Again, this is Sandy Locos and you're watching Tribune News on Q. Stay safe, stay healthy, and stay at home. Good morning and have a nice day.
Sir, ba't kailangan pang pumunta sa bangko?
Why not get a UB app so you can do all these without going to the bank? Bank the way you live. Union Bank.
Click, click, that's it. Never thought self-service can be this slick. Modify plans in a snap, walang hirap, it's a wrap. Just tap the app. Now you can check, view, subscribe, renew. Help and support for you. Out with the Ring Ring apps are the in thing. You know what to do. Globe at home and Globe One, all in the Globe app na yan. Self-service and easy to use. Mas okay tayo dyan. Globe at home and Globe One, all in the Globe app na yan. Instant response, no hold time pa, wala nang hintayan. Download Globe at home and Globe One app, all in the Globe app na yan. Download the Globe Globe One and Globe at Home apps from Google Play Store and Apple App Store now. Download Globe at Home and Globe One app all in the Globe app na yan.